Hello, friends, and welcome back to 20 Questions With. For those of you who are new here, this is my fun way of introducing you to other costumers and costubers by asking them 20 silly questions. Today, we're talking to Cynthia of Red Threaded. Welcome to my channel, Cynthia.
Hi.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do for a living and your channel?
All right, so I am the owner of Red Threaded, historical corsets and costumes, mostly corsets these days. And I come from a theatrical costume background, but in the last recession, I founded this business to kind of sell things in a retail setting. So we sell retail corsets, stays, patterns, kits, and all of that good stuff. And then we also take on theatrical commissions, large scale contracts sometimes where we're making like 30 ensemble costumes for a Broadway tour or something like that. So occasionally we completely retool and we'll do that for a little bit and then we'll go back to the corset thing. We are based in Colorado. We are just outside of Boulder in kind of several different cities right now. It's complicated with COVID.
Fort Collins for a year.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's like an hour from me. Yeah, so now we're kind of in Longmont, but we're also kind of in Louisville, and we're also kind of in all of my employees' houses. So
yeah.
And what else? Oh, YouTube channel is a mix of kind of like extant garment show and tell, tips and tricks, techniques, how to put on corsets, kind of all that basic stuff. And I don't update it. And chickens. Yes, and chickens. And dyeing a corset in a wheelbarrow. I kind of like went off the deep end when COVID hit. And so there's a bunch of funny stuff from that. I don't update it as much as I should because it turns out that running a business and a YouTube is like a lot. So
I feel like we need a chicken update though. Like if you did just a 2-minute silent like ASMR chicken video, people would be real excited.
Well, actually, I was going to do a Christmas video with them and I just didn't get my act together that week. I was like, I don't want to film. I was going to make little tutus for them and just do a little like, here's how our Nutcracker costume build's going.
I should tell you that Valentine's Day is coming up, as is like President's Day or whatever else. I mean, you could make blue and white and red tutus.
I could just do like little Valentine's Day thing for them. Yeah, that'd be cute.
Yeah.
They're good. They all lay almost an egg a day. They're earning their keep. I know.
Can you tell me about that? Like, I don't know anything about, I'm a city girl. So like, do they do that forever?
They do that for a time. So just like any other, creature, they are born with all of their eggs that they'll ever lay or, ovulate or whatever. Wow, this is quite a tangent.
It's my fault. It's fine.
Yeah, so there's a limited number. It's just like humans hit menopause. So for a chicken, it's about 2 to 3 years.
Oh, okay. But they do it every day, no matter what the weather is.
It depends on the chicken. The ones that have been bred to be egg layers are generally in the 300 egg a year range. That's like a good layer. So it's a little less than one a day.
I eat a lot of eggs. That is what I've learned during COVID. Like when I have to feed myself and I can't like go out all the time, I find that I like hard-boiled eggs like a lot and just leave them in when I just need like, a small snack. That's what I eat.
Yeah, I eat a lot of eggs. I have discovered that we don't quite eat 4 eggs a day though. So now we're ending up with I'm giving them to the neighbors and
Ooh, I wish I lived near you because I spend a lot of money on eggs. Because I buy bougie eggs that have like a chicken of the week card in them and like where they're like cuddled to sleep every night because I'm that girl.
Those ones, yes. Yeah. Well, my chickens they're pretty good. They're pretty well taken care of.
They seem it. Are you ready to play 20 questions?
Sure, let's do it.
What is the weirdest thing you've ever had to do for a job?
Oh man, theatrical costume. You do some weird stuff. The first thing though that comes to mind was this job I did. It was like right out of college and I was costume shop managing / draping for a little university, which will go unnamed, was a lovely job, but it was one of those things where they're like, you're going to do all the costuming and you have a stitcher and one person, and then we're going to do everything. And it was a bit of a afterthought of the theater department.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a theater department.
So yeah. And it was like the day of dress rehearsal, and we had to make the weirdest stuff. It's this show called Das Barbecue, which is Wagner's Ring Cycle reimagined as a like yeehaw Texas story. I'm not even kidding. So it's a musical set in like oldie timey Texas, but there's like Valkyries.
I would pay money to see that.
It's actually hilarious. Basically, long story short, I found myself carving because props ended up making some of the like larger costume pieces, which almost never goes well. I love you, props people, but like, no. I ended up like straddling this pig head made out of foam, like jabbing knives into the neck of the thing to carve out foam to make it less heavy so that it wouldn't completely fall off the platter that was being worn on someone's head like they were at a barbecue while they were wearing like a gingham tablecloth.
That's amazing.
And the props people didn't tell me that the paint wasn't quite dry. So then I'm covered in red paint from like the inner ears of the pig. So I'm covered in red paint, like jabbing this thing, like straddling it to hold it in place on the lawn in front of the theater, like an hour before dress rehearsal.
Is that why you're called Red Threaded?
No, but that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's probably the strangest one. I did alter a pair of pants that had a Robert Downey Jr. label in them, but that was just fun.
Ooh, that's exciting. Yeah.
And I once found a petrified donut in a hem on a rental garment. So
what?
Donut removal, pig stabbing.
I wish someone had gotten a picture of that pig, that thing. That would have been awesome. Like you just.
It was a time. There were some people like walking by who, were not like related to the theater department at all. And they're just kind of like, we're going to kind of give her a wide berth over there.
You don't even know what's going on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you could trade places with any other person for 1 week, famous or not, living or dead, real or fictional, whom would it be?
God. Anyone on a vacation on a beach where they don't have to do anything. I'm not picky.
You should go with like Taylor Swift because like her vacations are the one, right?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. Like even just like myself 2 years ago. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. You're the boss, right?
Yeah, but it's a pandemic out there. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and you live in Colorado. So.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of beaches or like palm trees.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Fort Collins. I went to Colorado State for my freshman year of college. It was actually a really good time. I just woke up all the time with nosebleeds because I'm like from sea level.
Yeah, you had to drink all the water.
Yeah. And it was like 1 year when it was for a week solid with the wind chill, it was like -55. And I'm like, I'm going to go home now.
Yeah.
So I stayed my whole first year and then went home.
It's definitely, you either can tolerate it or you can't. I would say love it or hate it, but I think it's toleration. I don't think it's loving it.
Yeah.
Except for a couple of people who are like, yay, the cold. But
yeah, I think as an adult, I would like it a lot more, but I was a like surfer kid that was like, no, I gotta go.
And you're probably walking to class and stuff.
Yes.
And like, ugh.
And it's like a mile to class. And I'm like, literally, I'm that girl where like when it's 30 degrees in Colorado, all the kids take off all their clothes and lay on the lawn because it's like, oh, we can finally get sunshine and they're in their bathing suits. And I am still like Ralphie's brother with like, I can't put my arms down level of clothes on. And everyone's like, okay, California, have a good time.
To be fair, I grew up in Massachusetts for a large portion of my life, and I still am the person who's totally bundled. I don't like being cold, so.
Me neither. Yeah. If you ran away and joined the circus, what performance would you be?
I think I'd want to do one of those like trick costume change numbers,
Oh yeah.
right? You know, where
Yeah.
like, because I remember seeing the circus when I was like 10 or so, and you know, they had like a ballroom dance couple, and they did like 20 different costume changes.
Wow.
I think it was Big Apple Circus, and I would want to do that just so that I could know how they did that,
Mm-hmm.
because I know a lot about trick dresses and costume changes and stuff, but it's the like 20 in a row on a
Mm-hmm.
sand floor that I do not understand.
And somehow they still have like a cute figure when they come out. And you're like, how do
Yeah.
you fit 20 dresses on you and still have a cute figure? Like,
And
that's
they'll
the actual
go
miracle.
and they'll go from like short dress to long dress to short dress. You know, I don't to that just because I want to know that trade secret.
That'd be awesome. If you could learn any one skill in the world without trying, like Matrix style, what would you pick?
Languages, because I'm not very good at them. I don't know if I would have to pick just one or if I could just know all the languages. That would be cool.
Like my husband's
But
really good at picking up languages. Like we went to South America for 6 weeks and he could communicate in Spanish before we left.
that's impossible for me. I no. So that would be mine, because that would make a lot of things easy
Yeah,
and it would be cool.
it would be cool. What luxury is totally worth the price? Mine is massages.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Spa day.
That's worth it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, massages are 100% worth the price for sure. Yeah. Like, what is a luxury anymore?
Yeah.
Wine.
That is my first thing I'm gonna do. Like people keep asking me, what are you gonna do when this whole mess is over? I'm like, I'm going to the spa for a month. Like
Yeah.
I don't need
Yeah.
to go see my friends. I just want to go to the spa and get like 84 massages and a facial. That would be lovely.
I have been going for massages occasionally just because like I need to stay functional at the sewing machine and the cutting table. But yeah,
We don't
it's
have them
weird.
here. It's
Not
like
at all.
no, unless you have like a medical necessity for it. Nuh-uh.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
California is in crazy lockdown right now. Just for everyone's reference, it is also Inauguration Day. What animal would you choose to be?
Some sort of bird.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
I'm not picky about what kind of bird, I
A
don't
chicken?
think. No, I want to be one that can fly better than a chicken. Maybe like a raven or a crow, because they're kind
Ooh,
of fun and sassy and they can talk a little bit
and they're
and they can
smart.
fly and they're smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're a little bit intimidating, which
Yeah.
I could use more of. So
I think you really just need to wear that ironwork dress and walk around then. 'Cause when you wear that, I think the first time I ever saw you was in that dress, and I was like, not gonna talk to her.
well, okay. Was that 2017?
Something like that, yeah.
I was like deathly ill that year too.
Oh no.
So I wore that dress. I was like coughing and sneezing. I actually bruised a rib. It's the only time I've ever injured myself with a corset. Just don't like corset down to your max tiny, because you've also put on 5 pounds since you made that dress, and then also be sick and then sneeze. Don't do that.
Oh.
So it's probably good. I don't even know if we talked that time, because I was like on all the cold medicine and the gin and tonics, and like I was a disaster. So to anyone who talked to me that night when I was wearing the earth gown in 2017, I apologize for being a complete mess. I was like sneezing all over. Oh god. Things we did before COVID.
Yeah. That is the single most amazing dress I've ever seen in my life. Like,
Well,
and
thank
I've seen a
you.
lot. I've traveled all over this world. I've been to 7 continents. I've been to like every clothing museum I could possibly get my hands on, and that dress is the one.
Yeah, I've never seen the original, but one of these days that'll happen.
No,
Make it
your
happen.
version of it. I
Oh,
just stood there
thank you.
going, it was crazy.
Yes, it was. Never again.
That's another lesson you learn when you make your dream dress. Never again.
Yeah. I mean, if someone wanted to pay me like 30 grand to make one, I would do it. But
I'd be like 300.
yeah. Okay, 300.
Yeah. What book or movie do you wish you could experience for the first time again?
The movie itself, or the experience that I had seeing the movie? Ooh.
I think it's the experience you had. Like, what do
So
you wish you could experience again? Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Return of the King,
Mhm.
which I saw on Trilogy Tuesday, like a big old nerd.
I did that too.
Right? The three
Yeah.
back to back. And I was in high school and all of my friends were there and like our moms dropped off pizzas. It was the best time. It was so much fun. And what a way to see a movie. And then by the end, we're all just so sleep deprived that we're like, oh God.
So for people who don't know what Trilogy Tuesday is, you go to the theater and you watch all three movies and you watch the first two in extended version and you get like an hour and then I think 2 hours for dinner or something like that. And then at like 11 p.m. you start the 3 hour long Return of the King movie. And then when you leave, I think we got like film cells or something in my theater.
Yes. Yep,
Yeah.
I have. Yeah, I still have that actually.
But at the end I was like, I don't care if Frodo gets up that mountain or not. Like I just want to go. I need to not see things in sepia tone anymore. I don't care.
Oh gosh. I think I was probably the exact right age to do that thing. Now I'd probably be like, I want to go to bed.
Yeah.
But when I was a teenager, I was like, this is awesome, except for the part where I lost the costume competition to a guy who had a giant Aragorn sword and stubble.
Oh man.
And I was like, I embroidered this thing.
Right. Like, no, this is
fine, Mr. Yeah. Big Sword.
Yeah. It's a pretty incredible day. I think part of mine was that I had a giant fight with my boyfriend that day, like in the middle, like during lunch and then during dinner.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was
That's
bad.
Not good.
So Yikes. I had a very weird experience that day. But that was a great.
I don't want to repeat that.
Yeah, that's a great experience though. Like seeing the it's also, I think, was it the first time we saw the extended versions? No. It can't
no,
be.
They had come out on DVD beforehand. Yeah. I think Two Towers had come out on DVD.
I think so too.
Like a few months before that. Mm-hmm. Also, this year isn't this 20th anniversary of Fellowship this year? I feel very old.
Yeah.
2020. Wasn't it 2001?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Woo. Okay.
So they're going to do like theater things for that, but we can't do theater things for that. So maybe not, but yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I saw the Fellowship of the Ring 10 times in the theater because I was so obsessed with it.
I think I saw Return of the King 7 times. So you got me beat there.
Well, there was a movie theater like right next to my work. So I would just like go there after work and watch it. If you had to delete all but 3 apps from your smartphone, which ones would you keep?
Oh, oh no. That's so funny because I joke about I want to throw my phone in the lake. But now I'm like, oh no, I would keep Instagram, Facebook Messenger, just because that's how I communicate with a lot of people. And okay, but can we keep email? Does email count or is that its own thing? I'm getting very technical on these. I'm sorry.
I would say that you automatically get the stuff that is already on your phone when you load it up. So like you get to keep your email and you get to keep Safari.
Okay, so Instagram, weather, and my mileage tracking app that automatically tracks where I go so that I don't have to keep track of that for business expenses in any sort of like paper format or a way where I have to pay attention to it at all because I don't.
Okay. So, you're going to do Facebook Messenger through Safari.
Yeah, maybe. Forget Facebook Messenger.
Okay. If you can have an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life and it cannot be money, what is it? Sushi, Scotch tape, what? I have a bet about what I think you're going to say.
Really? Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Well, my first thought was alcohol.
All right, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, what was your bet?
Coutil.
Yeah, that's probably the actual reasonable answer.
Because you had such a problem.
I was going to say, I know. Now it's bone casing tape is my new mess. I was going to say either booze or butter.
Yeah, butter. That's a good one. Yeah.
I'm not getting a cow, so,
Yeah. If you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would you choose and why? So far, I think of the people that I've asked this question to, everyone has said the same character.
Really?
Yep,
That's weird. Do Disney movies count? Is
sure.
it just John? Um, Robin Hood.
Robin Hood. That's a
Yeah,
good
it's my
one.
favorite. That's my favorite Disney movie.
Oh wow. That's
Yeah.
great. That's really great. Yeah, everybody else says Scooby.
Okay. I mean, that'd be fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robin Hood's cool though. That's awesome. If you could live anywhere in the world for a year, where would it be?
It'd be Barcelona or just the Catalonia, like that area of
Mhm.
Spain in
Yeah.
general. I
Yeah.
loved it. I went for 3 days and I didn't want to leave. So,
Yeah. I've been there. It's lovely. We stayed in Malaga. So, and
ooh,
then we went up to Barcelona to like hang out for a day or two. I think we stayed overnight and then went home. Barcelona is beautiful. It's amazing.
yeah.
I'd like to go there again for like a week and hang out and see all the things.
Yeah, that was, I think, 10 years ago that I went. So I'd love to go back and see the Sagrada Familia now because I think
Yeah.
if it's not done, it's almost done. And
Yeah.
when we went, there was still a lot of white light coming through. They hadn't finished all the stained glass. So
Oh,
it'd be
uh-huh.
cool to see.
There was some book I was reading. Was it Dan Brown's Origin? Do you read Dan Brown books?
Not really.
So
I'm
he did
sorry.
one and it was in Barcelona. So now I want to go
Ooh.
and do Dan Brown tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you could commit any crime and get away with it, what would you choose and why?
My first thought is I would steal the Declaration of Independence.
You know, on the back there's a map, right?
Yeah. I did like the meme going around that was like, turns out it might actually be simple to steal the Declaration of Independence a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Um,
Too soon, too soon.
too soon. YouTube is forever. It won't be too soon someday.
Yeah, yeah,
I would probably steal money in some way. I'd steal a whole bunch of money and I would not keep all of it. I would do cool stuff with it.
like Robin Hood.
Yeah, like all the things that, I don't know, people with a lot of money could
Yeah,
do right
yeah.
now. Yeah, that's what I'd do. I'd like pay off everyone's Venmo asks. Every time you see like a Venmo thing come through, like I have to get my car repaired, I'm about to be evicted, I'd just be like, fixed, done.
Yep. Yeah, that'd be really fun. People say that like billionaires don't do that because if they start doing that, then all they get is asks all the time. So I would have like everyone sign an NDA that says they cannot say or set up a shell corporation to do it or whatever, so that it's not
Yeah.
my problem and pay someone to pass out money. Actually, no, that sounds like fun. I want to do it. Never mind. But like shell corporation.
Yeah. And then you don't have to, yeah, that's kind of, then you're sneaky about it, which is cool.
Yeah. And nobody knows it's you. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
What is your favorite section in the grocery store and why?
Cheese. Because
Same.
cheese is the best.
Cheese is the best.
Do we need to explain cheese anymore? I mean,
Mm-mm.
that's why.
Cheese is the best thing ever.
Yep.
Have you ever had a supernatural event, seen a ghost or whatever?
Ooh. Okay, you get my ghost story.
Yay.
So I was in college and I was in my campus apartment by myself in my room. And I'm one of those like record collecting music nerds. So I had my turntable sitting over there with a record on it, but it wasn't playing. It was just off. Like the arm was off. Everything was off. And I'm sitting on my bed across the room, like studying or something. And then I hear the little click of that is the sound of the record arm like moving. Like if you press the button to raise the arm, I hear the little click and it starts spinning and it drops and it starts playing.
What was it playing?
My Bloody Valentine.
What?
Which was like extra creepy. And I had the volume up pretty loud. So I was just like,
Did you get some sage? Like,
I probably should have. So I got up. It gets weirder. So I get up to go turn it off. And as I'm like first shocked, then like climbing off the bed to go turn it off, it starts spinning slower. And by the time I get to it, it has stopped.
oh my God. Was
This
anyone in the house with
happened.
you?
no, this only happened when my roommate was gone. So she was like, "You're nuts. Like, are you okay?" I'm like, "No, there's like actually something going on." This happened like 3 or 4 more times over the course of a couple of weeks. And then another time I was sitting out in the living room area by myself again, and the kitchen fan, exhaust fan just turned
Where
on
was this?
high.
Like,
This was in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
whoa. I
Yeah.
mean, North Carolina seems like a haunted place.
There's some real rough history
Yeah.
there. Like an entire community was pretty much erased
Yep.
from that area. Yes.
Yeah.
So that was weird. And I went to go turn off the fan and it wouldn't like turn off. It was one of those like 3 cycle, like off, medium, like low, high, off. If you just keep pressing the button, and it just like, kept going from like medium or low to high. And then like 30 minutes later, it turned off by itself. So
Did you like stay there? Did you feel sick? Like what? Exorcist? What
well,
happened?
here's the weirdest part about it. Like, I am kind of agnostic about the whole thing. I don't know. I can't know. I know what I've seen and experienced. But my friend who had that room the year before me, so I moved into his room when he moved out. One of his relatives had passed away like right before then, and he'd driven home for the funeral and stuff. Like, there was this whole thing. And so I actually said out loud, I felt so stupid doing this, right? It's one of those things you're like, really? But I said out loud, "Hey, he's moved to this other street. He's in a different house. Also, please stop messing with my things. Like, don't mess with my records." And nothing ever happened again. So I don't know.
Wow, you're like the ghost
Yeah.
whisperer.
It was so weird because I was always like, that's nothing like that's ever going to happen to me. But I know what happened and it was unexplainable.
Yeah. It's really weird because when I ask this question, I keep asking it of people who I think are going to be like, nah. And every person has had a story now. And I'm like, oh, yes. What if everybody in the world has ghost stories and like we just don't talk about it because we don't want to sound stupid? But like actually enough of us have receipts that like
Yeah. Do you have one?
Um, so there is a hotel called the Hotel del Coronado in San Diego. And when I was little, my mom used to drive me over this giant bridge to the island to go visit the hotel because we were really poor, like really, really poor. Like me and my mom shared a 1 bedroom apartment and we stayed in the same room until I was like 12. So we would go to the hotel to like feel luxurious, and like just
Yeah.
walk around the grounds and stuff. And it's a beautiful old hotel and it's supposedly very, very haunted. And one day I looked up into the window and there's like a room that's supposedly very, very haunted. And I looked up into the window and there was a little boy sitting there looking at me and he waved at me. And I was like, "Mom, little boy, little boy, little boy." And my mom
Oh,
looked up there
wow.
like, "There's no little boy there." And he was still standing there. And I was like lining, like, there's no way. Like there was no window anywhere near. It's not like a line and when. So I'm like, I saw him,
Ooh.
he didn't.
I think that might be the hotel that Taylor and Jenny Rose stayed at a couple years ago. I
Oh
should ask
yeah.
them if anything haunted happened.
Oh, I should. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the best item that you have purchased during COVID?
Oh, I've been doing a lot of stress buying.
Everybody has. That's why this question's on the
Oh,
list.
man. I'm going to go with the new sink that I just put in my kitchen.
Ooh.
Because, so we have a really old house. It's not haunted. So that's good. That's the first thing people ask me when they find out my house was built in the 1890s. They're like, "Is it haunted?" I'm like, "No, it's real chill, actually." Uh, but the kitchen was last renovated in the mid 90s.
Oh,
So, and it had this little dinky, like builder grade sink that was like 2 basins or, the shallow ones, and then the little short faucet thing. And I have no idea how people have put up with that for 20 years. Like
30.
25. Yeah. But apparently all the previous owners through that stint had. And I was just like, I have crammed my canning like pot under this thing too many times. So I got a new sink, and it's deeper and it's great, and it has a nice faucet, and it actually has a sprayer that functions. It's, the little things.
It is the little things. This house has
When
a
you,
really deep sink, and I'm like, yes.
yeah, it's great. I mean, it was funny because I've been like, this sink is so stupid for a year. We moved in like a year and a half ago. And then a few months ago, I was like, I'm like an adult person. I could get a different sink.
It's really funny how we like just put up with stuff for so long before we go, oh, wait a minute, I can just pay somebody to fix this.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't even pay anyone. I put it in myself. I had it almost done before my husband woke up on Saturday.
Putting in sinks is less difficult than people think. Like
It
I put in a
is.
garbage disposal one time and I'm like, you just screw this in, really?
Yeah, it's
So
pretty
yes.
easy unless you're doing like an undermount or something fancy. But this was just like, whoop, done. So.
Yeah, it's great. All right, you're the captain of a pirate ship. What do you name your ship?
Something involving whalebone, probably. It has to be on brand.
I mean, you could call it the Red Threaded.
The Red Threaded. My pirate name when we were doing pirate names once at a job was Saboteur Red. That's actually a good ship name. The Saboteur Red.
Yeah,
there we go.
That is a good. Mine is the Sassy Lass.
Okay, that's fun. Yeah. Cool.
It also gives people a warning about what they're going to get.
Yeah, I feel like that's the start of a good armada there.
Yeah. We should get one together.
Okay.
What song has the ability to cheer you up?
Oh, so many. But first thought is Mr. Blue Skies by ELO.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
That one's fun. Suffragette City by David Bowie. Or really anything off of the Ziggy Stardust album. I'm like a big glam rock nerd, which most people probably wouldn't guess about me. And also just Stevie Wonder.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like
Superstition is the way to go.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. If given the option to time travel to your past and give yourself a one sentence piece of advice, what age would you choose to go to and what would you say?
Go back to a year ago and be like, COVID is coming.
Order more boning.
Order more stuff. Oh man, that's tough because I'm so like in it with this whole recent situation. I think I would actually go back to when I was about 16 and just tell myself that it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Because the teen years are tough.
Yeah. My teens weren't super bad, but my 20s were hard. I got mono for 8 months and like there was just a bunch of like stupid that happened. And I'd probably be like, do not get any credit cards.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Let me tell you about compound interest.
Yes. Let me explain to you how student loans work and how you're going to have to pay them off.
Yes.
Yeah, all that. I spent my teen years in rural North Texas, homeschooled.
Whoa.
With a lot of people with, let's just say, views that don't mesh with mine.
I always find it amazing when people come out of places like that. It's like you innately knew, no, I'm not going to be like that.
I counted down the days for like an entire year until I went to art school.
It seems like it is nature more than nurture in some cases.
In some cases. Because I think I'm pretty much the only one. No, there's like two of us out of that bunch who kind of diverged. I'm supposed to be, married and have a 10-year-old in Texas, or like not 10-year-olds, but, a bunch of kids and such. But I picked a different path and it was a good choice.
Seems like it's working out.
It is working out. Yeah.
If you could have any artifact, piece of art, or thing from any art gallery, what would you have?
The Worth gown. No, actually, I don't want to have that one. I already have to care for one.
You have one.
I have one. I have that. Well, I don't want to have to take care of any of that stuff.
You can just have it and then just loan it back to the museum.
I'd probably pick one of Gustav Klimt's paintings. That would be really nice to have. His work is cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I picked the T-Rex from the Chicago Field Museum.
Cool. Go big.
Yeah, I was gonna put it in my backyard, but some commenter came on and was like, no, those are actually really fragile. You need to keep it indoors. And I'm like, well, thank God I have vaulted ceilings.
Ooh, actually, a different answer, now that I'm thinking art. There is a painting by Mondrian, and it's not the lines and the squares and the color blocking. It's from before he started doing that, and it's of a tree, and it's at the Dallas Museum of Art. And it's like only like this big, but it's the silhouette of a tree, so it's almost like he's starting to play around with like lines, linear things, dark linear shapes, but there's a sunset and it's realistic.
Oh,
And it's really cool.
that is awesome.
Take that. Also, it would fit in my house.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. How long, this is question number 20. How
okay.
long would you last in a zombie apocalypse?
I would last pretty long, honestly.
Okay.
I got skills. I got useful skills.
Yeah.
I can sew stuff.
Uh-huh.
I
You're from Texas, so you can shoot stuff, right?
I can shoot stuff decently
That was
ish.
super Texas racist or whatever.
No, I mean it's true. I have, yeah. If it's not moving and if it's a balloon on my birthday, I can maybe hit it with like
Wow.
6 tries. If it's just like right over there, no. And I have a bow and arrow, like a kid's fun one.
Mm-hmm.
But don't ask me to actually hit anything with that. Maybe a barn.
Yeah.
But also I can
Mm-hmm.
food. I can garden. I really just kind of want to like go live off grid forever in some ways. You know, I'm always like, well, if this goes bust, let's just go move to the middle of nowhere and then I'll never talk to anyone again. It'll be great. And I'll grow all our food and stuff. And I do have, this is like vegans and vegetarians like cover your ears, but I mean, I do also know how like basic butchering and stuff like that.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. So
yeah. When you live off grid, especially if you live in a place that's like snowy, in the wintertime, do you just eat canned food all winter?
I don't know. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Colorado winter is really long.
You would do a lot of preserving, but preserving also covers things like making sausage, smoking meat, all of that stuff. You could have, back stock of grains. And then you could also do some like small scale hydro, like produce growing and stuff, depending on your setup.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Because especially here, we get so much sunlight, you could set up some sort of like solarium space and then grow a bunch of veggies inside.
Yeah, man, that's the one thing I do miss about Colorado, the sky.
Yeah.
The sky is crazy there in a way. Like I get California sunsets, which is just amazing. And like California is a great place to live too. But like the sky in Colorado in particular is large.
It is. And
beautiful.
I think the mountains help too, because it kind of gives it like a frame. And then all the clouds build up out there and
that's the thing is there's always clouds and they're always doing something cool. So like, yeah.
Of course, as we're saying this, there's actually I can't see a single cloud. That's funny.
It's like the one day, it's in January.
Yeah, it's like purely, I have mountain views from the turret, which is awesome. Really exciting. Yeah. I couldn't tell in the summer, I don't because of the deciduous trees out there, but in the winter after the leaves fell, I was like, wow, okay.
That's cool. Wow. All right, the super controversial bonus question. Is a hot dog a sandwich and why?
Sure. Yeah. It's bread and meat. Yeah, okay.
I love people who don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care either. So I'm like, yes, team don't care.
It's such a funny question. At first I was like, no, absolutely not. And then I'm like, it's essentially the same format as like a hoagie or a sub. Sure.
What actually tipped me to one side was that Ruth Bader Ginsburg said, yeah, it's a sandwich. And I was like, oh, well, I bow to your authority, ma'am.
Okay, well, I'm happy to be on her team. So that's great.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for joining me today, Cynthia. I will leave a list of Cynthia's accounts down below so that you can go check her out and give her some love. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below letting me know what you guys are up to. And I'll see you soon with another video. Bye, guys.